The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. The 11 disciples went to Galilee, to the mountain to which Jesus had ordered them. When they saw him, they worshipped, but they doubted. Then Jesus approached and said to them, "All power in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always until the end of the age." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
So one of the kind of clearest distinctions I was taught in seminary early on in theology was the difference between a problem and a mystery. Like these are two ways of approaching a scenario, let's say. So we can think of a problem like take math or science or something. Like you approach it kind of as a problem. Okay, I need to get my times tables down so that I can move on to long division, right? Like so you approach it, you conquer it, you learn it, and then you're on to the next one, right? That's a problem, and it's good. It has its place, just not in theology, right? So that's where a mystery comes in. And what is a mystery? Yeah, mystery in this sense, mystery is not something to conquer and to move on to, right? To fully grasp and move on to. No, it's something to like swim in, explore, just experience, right? And that's kind of how we approach more theology, especially today in the Most Holy Trinity. We just dive in and explore it, and we don't check our reason at the door. It's not like we're off the hook that we don't get understand it and go deep in it. No, we use our faculties, the intellect and our faith, to really go deep into this mystery, to learn more about the nature of God, and so we can kind of understand him better and grow in deeper relationship with him. So that's how we approach the Trinity today, as a mystery, right? Something to be explored and dive into, using both faith and reason. Okay, so faith's kind of heart knowledge. It's a form of knowledge, yeah. But we want to use our intellect too. As John Paul II would say, faith and reason, they're like the two wings on which the human spirit flies to the contemplation of truth. You just soar and experience it, right? So both of them. Okay, so we got a lot of the faith stuff down, but the church has weighed in a lot on some intellectual kind of parameters of what the nature of the Trinity is, right? What is the Trinity? Yeah, it's three persons, one God, yeah, but what are some other characteristics of it? And St. Thomas Aquinas is big on this. He uses an analogy. He uses an analogy all the time, right? To speak of things of God. Because really all we got is the things we know here on this earth to speak about God. That does not exhaust God, right? But it's just our way of kind of getting to him, right? So we use analogy. And anytime we say, okay, God is like, we're at the same time saying he's not like. So they limp. They're not perfect. But, so I like to use those because it makes it kind of personal. So let's take part of the creed. A little segment in the creed, the end of it, where it says, well, hey, the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son. That's actually pretty rich, okay? And it's known as the filioque, and it caused some division in the church, like all good teachings in the church, strike a chord. Anyway, that caused a little division. But it's a very accurate way of describing the nature of the Trinity, that the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son, okay? It's like the relationship between the two. The relationship is so real it becomes another person, the third person of the Trinity. So an analogy, think of a family, right? You've got a father or a husband and a wife, a father and a mother, and the love between them is so great it becomes a third person, a little child, right? Another person. That's a way of kind of understanding how real the love between the Father and the Son is. It's another person. So that's an analogy, but it's real. It's one we can relate to. And St. Paul kind of speaks to that dimension when he says, like, we have received a spirit of adoption through whom we cry out, Abba, Father. So that little reality of a child in relationship to the Trinity is true about us. Like, we've received that spirit, that we are adopted children of God the Father. So that's a truth, that like we are his beloved children, and we can call out Abba, Father, Daddy. Okay, that's real. And that very spirit has been placed in our hearts as well. So the Trinity dwells in our hearts. You know, he's here. We don't have to look out there. He's here. And so that love between the Father and the Son goes on in our hearts too. So that's the depth of, that's a part of the depth of the Trinity, the way we can explore it, using like analogous ways. Like, how does this speak to me? You know, where it's not just a head knowledge, it's a heart knowledge. Something to be experienced, explored. And the more we know about the nature of God, the more we can like grow in relationship with him, you know? In this case, his love for us as beloved sons and daughters. So don't just stop at the fact that the Trinity is a mystery, which it is. It's a mystery to be explored. So let's use our faith and our reason to grow in our knowledge of God so that we can grow in deeper relationship with him.